Yes, welcome, welcome. Once again, I'm on the road. Go figure that. And look, I'm like kind of wearing my nighttime chill out clothes and everything. It's uh it's one of those days when I'm really glad to be here, but I'm also really glad to be nearing the end of my road trip. I am in fact in Birmingham, Alabama. Not gonna hold the suspense tonight at my mother-in-law's home in her office, hence the beautiful rose lamp and all the Marilyn Monroe stuff all around me. She has a Marilyn Monroe office. If you could see what's up in front of me, the amount of Marilyn stuff is kind of amazing. It really is. She really loves Marilyn. So it's all good. It's a great picture, Michael. I see you. Let me just say quick hello to everybody that's already here. Kendall Johnson, present. Good to see you, Kendall. Nice for you. Nice of you to be here tonight. Reggie, how are you doing tonight, man? Oh, and you're here on both YouTube and Facebook. It looks like. Hey, Chris Ware, nice to see you here. Eli Jarrah, that's right. I'm coming back next week. I'll see you then. Terrence Irvin, how you doing, man? Good to see you, my friend. I hope the first week of wedded bliss, marital bliss, has in fact been that very thing. Toby, good to see you tonight. I'm glad you're here. Charles, good morning in South Africa. I hope everything is well with you there. Justin and Keith, you're both here too. So this is already a great start to our night. It's funny. I've been kind of trying to figure out a couple of things. The little number that you guys see up at the top, right up there, that shows how many people are watching. We've been baffled by it because it in no way represents the number of people that are watching the show. So we've been trying to figure out exactly what that number is, and we finally think we have figured it out. So that you will understand what it is, so that we understand what it is. Um, it is the number of your friends that are watching simultaneously, it appears. So don't hold me to that, but that's what it appears. So it's one of those very very strange things, man. That seems to be what. Oh, if you're watching on Facebook anyway, that's what we think it is. So it's kind of interesting, right? A couple of things to go over tonight. I know a good many of you have already wished congratulations to my wife, but in case you didn't see it on some of my other social media posts, she was named one of the top 50 women leaders in Los Angeles for 2022. It's an incredible honor. Talk about a huge city, but I don't know anyone on planet Earth that is more deserving of accolades and honors. You guys think I'm the rock star? I'm not. She's absolutely the rock star. So thank you to everybody that has already congratulated her. Please join me in congratulating her as well. She has we moved to California. I'm going to say it this way. We moved to California all those years ago so that I could pursue my musical interests and try to take on the city and whatnot. And I've done well. And she has absolutely quintupled my success. She is truly a rock star. So congratulations to Natalie for that. And I know so many of you agree. So many of you have already expressed your congratulations earlier today. So thank you for that. Congrats, babe. I know you're here watching. So hi, I'll see you tomorrow night. Earlier today, my mother-in-law, and by the way, my mother-in-law and I get along pretty well. We went out to dinner tonight, and as a sidebar, um, she and Natalie don't really look a lot alike, but they have very similar personalities. My mother-in-law actually looks a lot like Dolly Parton, which is kind of crazy, but it's kind of true. But we were out talking today over dinner. One of the topics of conversation was about a shift that I have noticed in my drum camps in the summer. And one of the things that I've noticed is that in this little tiny micro generation of the past 3 or 4 years, it feels like there's less of an engagement with the kids. I don't believe in the whole concept of, oh, kids today don't have any respect. Socrates said that exact same thing. So that's been the way that every generation views the next one. But because I deal with drum camp people of all sorts of ages. Kendall has been to my camp, and he's 50 something. I don't know. I don't know exactly, Kendall, but I'm not going to tell your age there. But Kendall's been to my camps, and so have 13-year-olds. So it's a wide range. And what I noticed was, excuse me, I have a tag. What I noticed was that there's been a little less engagement. Yes, of course, COVID has something to do with it. But my curiosity to you, and I'd love for you to comment on this as we get deeper into the show. One of the things I've noticed and been curious about is that there seems to be, since, like I said, 3 or 4 year micro generation, that they have less idea of things that came before. When I was in high school, I knew things that came before me in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I knew music from then and movies from then. And whether I thought they were relevant or not is a different conversation. But I did know them, and some of those very things influenced me. But recently, last year, I was doing camp, and I asked the kids what kind of music they listened to. And they told me, and I was familiar with some and not familiar with some. But they asked me some questions about who all I had played with, and I told them some pretty heavy names, and they'd never so much as heard of them. And I found it shocking that they didn't know anything about these artists that are, in my thought process, still current. And in fact, I asked my mother-in-law, and she said, "Yeah, they're definitely still current." Um, but her take on it was this, and this is what I'd like to get from you. She said she thinks that families are less engaged with music than ever before. And I thought that was interesting because we have access to everything in the world at our fingertips at all times. But the family stereo, there isn't as much music playing out over the air, right? Because of that, there's not necessarily the same shared experience with music. Maybe, well, for instance, this is what we were talking about today. My wife knows every Christmas song ever and the artist the moment that it comes on. And one day we were sitting at a restaurant and we were playing this little game, and she was naming all the standard Polio, Paul Anka, whatever. And I was pretty impressed with all that. And then all of a sudden she goes, Engelbert Humperdinck. And sure enough, it was Engelbert Humperdinck. And that's because her parents always had music playing in the air, and they were exposed to this stuff, and it was something of a familial moment to share music. But now, well, I don't even know where my phone is. Here, hey, look, I have a case. But now we have everything in our phone and in AirPods. I mean, I'm wearing them right now to do this show. Um, it's interesting, isn't it, that though we have access to more things and we can be more involved personally, that perhaps we're not sharing it the same way. And I thought her point was really well made. And I'm curious what you might think about that. Do you think that she's onto something? That maybe that's one of the changes that could be made so that we end up having a little bit more music out in the air in our homes. And if you're a parent and you've got kids of any age, maybe it's good to have some music that they like um, in the air. Maybe so. Maybe it becomes something that they can show you, and then you can show them. These are interesting thoughts to me, anyway. I have absolutely enjoyed my time in the South. Been all over the South. As you know, last week I was in Durham, North Carolina. I had also been to Charlotte. I have also been to Mississippi. I've been all over the South over the past 11 days, and I'm really ready to get back to California because it's been a lot of driving and a lot of new strange beds and things like that. But I've been really excited to be here. I do miss the food down here, I gotta say. My goodness. Pork belly tacos, that's something new that I'm never going to forget. Um, Toby Simmons, Michael Reschke. Let's see what all we've got. Oh, Michael is wishing Natalie congratulations. Thanks for that, Michael. Toby, like something as simple as a rotary phone. You are not from a musical family, but your neighbors were playing Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Jethro Tull, and Eagles. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I totally get it. Um, Natalie, yes, yes, of course I'm going to tell the story about Engelbert Humperdinck. That's just too good for words, man. And then, of course, we got to go see him live because Nat Scott, our friend Nat's playing drums for him. So that was really fun. Renee Beavers, how you doing, man? Good to see you. You're going to be on the show later. And he's wishing Natalie a congratulations also. Kendall, becoming a rock star is now seen as an actual working job because the revenue is now coming 90% from live performances and merch and not music sales per se. That's his take on it. Yeah, well, that's my take as well. it is really challenging um, to make a living writing music and selling music because people don't buy music. And when music got decommoditized, it really took a hit, you know. So that was a problem. Um, Michael Reschke, I totally agree. Folks mainly enjoy music privately with AirPods and headphones. Growing up, music was always shared in his family. It's a really different thing, right? To have it only in your skull and the people around you are not necessarily aware of even what you're listening to. I remember discovering music that I probably never would have found had I not overheard someone else listening to it. And that's not necessarily a hit that we're against these things, but it is a change. And again, it's something that changed pretty rapidly, very, very short time ago. Oh, hey, Doug, how are you doing? He's playing a gig tonight in Las Vegas, and you say he's on a break. Good of you to be here tonight. And with that, I asked a whole pile of my friends last week. We had a great time with the whole pet peeves thing, and this week I've asked them some same sort of a similar question. What are some of your quirks and idiosyncrasies? I have seen exactly zero of these videos, so I will literally be watching these with you and hearing them for the same at the same time as you. And so, since Doug is here, we're going to start with Doug tonight. Let's see what Doug's quirk, idiosyncrasy might be.
Well, good morning, everybody from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is my drum room. My very good friend, Buddy Gibbons, has asked me to supply a short video about two things. Number one, idiosyncratic behavior and pet peeves. So here's my idiosyncratic issue. Uh, Even in Las Vegas, as hot as it gets, my hands don't sweat. So unless I have that stuff there, sort quick, on
Oh,
my
yeah.
hands, the sticks just go flying, and I have singers that will attest to that fact.
That is awesome. I know that to be true of Doug because I have seen his little sort quick stuff and inquired, and that's just freaking weird, dude, that your hands don't sweat at all. That's just weird. I don't know that I've ever heard that before. I kind of love it though, to be honest. Anybody else have that where you like to have some sort of tackiness on on your hands physically? Maybe you wrap your sticks. I never like to wrap the sticks because it changes the balance point of the sticks. But that's interesting, you know. That's unique, Doug. By the way, that beard's getting pretty epic, my friend. Um, Reggie Doss. He grew up on gospel music rotary phone with a party line. Did you grow up in the 1930s? Um, and you were your parents' first TV remote, absolutely. Then you were introduced to Rush, and here you are now. Yeah, he's got a pretty killer drum studio in Texas. And Reggie's a good dude for sure. That's really interesting about the party line. That's such a Mayberry thing, you know. What was her name? Sarah? Hey, Sarah, get me the whatever. That was a party line, and sometimes it would be tied up with two people talking, and you couldn't get through. That's pretty interesting, man. Okay. Thank you, Doug, for that. Here, let's hear from John Geiger.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, John.
This question should really be titled What's Weird About Me? And what's weird about me is I always have to have a folded cotton towel on my drum throne. Doesn't matter if it's my throne, God forbid it's a backline throne. Either way, there's got to be a folded cotton towel on it for me to play. It's the only way in which I feel comfortable. And I know it's weird, but it's kind of my weird.
You know what's weird about this and what's funny about this is that both of these guys start with "I've got to," "I must," "this has to be" thing. It's like this is non-negotiable, man. This must be a thing. And I get that. I don't really want to know why John needs a folded towel under his butt. Um, don't know that I want to know that. But hey, whatever works for you, man. I'm happy that you've got your folded towel. I have a drum throne that has a cover on it, so I guess I kind of have a similar sort of thing going on. Oh my goodness. We got a few more things over here. Let's see. Justin Scheidling, how you doing tonight, Justin? I like my hands really dry, and I found using hand sanitizer helps with that. Alcohol, I guess, dries up anything on your hands. That makes sense. I get that. Okay. And you like them dry? It's funny. I don't have drumsticks with me handy. I have 14 Marilyn Monroe pictures and no pair of drumsticks. It's funny though, Justin, because a lot of people will place sticks that have very little lacquer on them, thinking that that helps with grip. And the lacquer itself is actually good for grip. So I always find it interesting because it seems it's counterintuitive, but having lacquer on sticks actually helps you hold on to them. I wonder what you use. Or do you use a lacquered, heavily like double lacquer or regular lacquer or no lacquer? I'm curious about that. Reggie used to have a party line in Paris, Texas until '86. Are you kidding me? My goodness, Charles, yeah, you were raised on gospel music too. That's interesting, Charles. Since you're from South Africa, was your gospel music the same as American gospel music? Curious about that. Kendall Johnson, for perspective, my personal music is always Bluetooth with up to 4 outputs, wireless Skullcandy earpods, Vizio soundbar in the bathroom, car, Sherwood JBL Giant speakers, 200-watt home stereo system. Okay, I get that. So you like to have it in all sorts of places and ways, and I think that's pretty cool, honestly. If you had any kids, that'd be really interesting to hear what they think about that. Very cool. All right, um, let's hear from my dear friend Corey Manske.
Drumming eccentricities. I have so many, but I'll give you a three-way tie. Number
Oh
one,
boy,
can't stand it when my drum throne changes in height or in position. Drives me absolutely crazy. Number two,
wait, I'm stopping that one. You can see me and hear me still. So why would your drum throne stop, Corey? I'm curious about, or why would it change rather? Are you doing that, or does someone do that? I'm curious.
love it when people offer to help load out, but I don't like it when they help me break my stuff down because I'd rather do it. And then my third
Oh, before we get to the third one, for real, carry everything. Absolutely. Here, take it. Carry things in for me. Carry things out for me. Do not break down a single thing ever, please.
is I cannot play with anything in my pockets except for the good luck charm that's always in my front left
Oh,
pocket.
oh. And here and so he's leaving us without telling us what the good luck charm is. Okay, so yeah, I will admit that I actually had seen that part of this one, and I asked him because I was like, "You can't leave me hanging on that," and he sent me a picture of it, but I'm not going to share it because I promised him I wouldn't. And it is actually pretty cool, though it's fairly big to keep in my front pocket. Nate Morton, good to have you here tonight, Nate. How you doing, man? My father would play music while he cooked breakfast every weekend morning. I called it Sunday morning cooking breakfast music. Of course, it was usually Spyro Gyra or Chick Corea. Holy cow! Additionally, music was on in the house more frequently than the television. See, that's I wish that had been my situation. My music, my household was not particularly musical. That's really cool that yours was. On that note, Nate, let's find out what your quirk and idiosyncrasy is. Hmm.
Drumming eccentricities. Uh, I'd say labels. I'd say labels and logos. So I can't have a label or the name of a company upside down on a piece of paper. So for example, on a rack clamp, if it says Pearl, but it's upside down, I'll have to take the rack clamp, turn it, 180 degrees, and then basically remount whatever was there so that the Pearl logo is right side up. Yeah, same goes for boom arms. Sometimes the
Oh
logo
my
will be written
gosh.
on the boom arm in a way such that it can be positioned in the same place, but the logo is upside down. So again, I have to flip that, 180 degrees and then turn it back around so that it's back in the same place where it was with the logo right side up. So I'd say that, probably upside down logos. That would be my biggest eccentricity. Can't stand it. Can't stand it.
Man, that's awesome. That is some serious commitment to getting the logos all right side up too. Holy cow, man. Seriously, I kind of gave up on that when I started changing my setup so much. But I'm gonna let it pass without too much, except to say that's really freaking deep commitment. Um, Tyler Zarzika, who was our very first guest on this show last season, he has a thing about drumhead logos. He wants them to be exactly right. So mine are never exactly right, and I will take pictures of them and send it to him just to bother him. So from now on, they expect text messages from me with upside down logos. I'm just saying, it's gonna happen. Justin has left us a message. I got spoiled with the Regal tip lacquered sticks, but the double lacquer was a bit too much. Interesting. So the Regal tip lacquer is really quite nice. Absolutely. Um, that's pretty cool. Daniel East, how you doing, Dan? He's actually running all the social media for us tonight, but he's left us his quirk here. What you got? I must, in all caps, have the legs on my throne with one. I'm going to put this up. Here, I'm just going to put this on the screen. There we go. I can move it around. I must have the legs on my throne with one forward toward the pedal and two behind. I've fallen backward off a riser and stage onto concrete. Yeah, so fool me once, he says. That's pretty intense, man. I am I am yeah, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I get it. Um, I do the exact opposite, by the way. I have two going backwards because I like to lean a little and control it. But hey, look, I get it for sure. Holy cow. Let's see what Justin had to say.
What's up, Groove Diner? Thanks, buddy, for having me. Biggest eccentricity for me. I'm not too particular when it comes to a gig. I have a little
Right.
bag full of like extra tension rods and washers and cymbal felts for like when I have to do like a backline gig at a venue. And I'll fix the drums up before I start playing. I can't be the only person that does that. I'm really not too particular. I like my own pedals. I like my own sticks, obviously. If the sticks don't feel right, I can't play. But like a personal thing for me would be this towel. My mother's a seamstress. She made it for me when I was in middle school, I think. Had to be. But every big career gig I've ever done, I brought this with me. It's got my initials on it, and this was a print all throughout my childhood bedroom. This little funky little suede thing in here. I don't know. But this is coming on my major like career gigs. So my first time playing outside the country, I brought this with me. My first time playing on the radio, this was with me. First big recording session, this was with me. That's my eccentricity. Thanks.
Dude, I kind of love that you've got a towel that your mom made. I think that's pretty cool. I really like it. More to the point, though, your hair is absolutely positively perfect. Well done, sir. Yeah, so that's cool about the towel. I get that. It's almost a good luck charm, huh? That's pretty neat, man. I like it. Renee says his pops would do the same thing on Sunday mornings. I'm assuming you're referring to Nate over there. Yeah, that's pretty good. I love it. Toby Simmons. Yep, Nate was a great guest. Absolutely. He kicked off our season this year. Thanks so very much. Absolutely. Um, let's see what we have here. Yeah, so Dan put this up here. I'm going to put this up on screen so that you guys can see it. I hope you can see all of that. Don't forget you can get your merchandise over at groovedinerafterdark.com. We certainly appreciate everybody that's bought some merchandise, and it does help us quite a lot. And I'm also supposed to do that whole smash the like button, smash the subscribe. No, please subscribe. We love doing this stuff for you. As you all know, this is a very intensive show that we do, and not something we do on the cheap or on the quick. So every little bit helps us a lot. Thank you so much for doing that. That's really funny, Dan. When he did that since he was 17 and hasn't changed it. That's pretty good, man. Renee Beavers, what you got?
Hi, this is Renee Beavers with Coco Montoya. Now on tour, I like to have a fresh pair of sticks sitting on the snare drum. Whether those are the actual pair I'm going to use, but I like to have a fresh pair of sticks sitting on the snare. And I have another pair in the green room.
I get that. I told you guys last week that I have a thing about don't touch my sticks. If there's a new pair of sticks in the bag, please don't grab that pair of sticks. Please grab an old one or something, please. That would be really helpful. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I get that, Renee, completely. Oh man. Kendall has given us a list of his eccentricities. What are they? I have 5 chihuahuas. Their most corporal punishment is only a threat. Let me just get my stick. That stick, of course, being one of my drumsticks. Disclaimer: I do not actually hit a dog with any drumstick. I'm sure you don't. I know that for sure. But that's pretty funny. Let me get my stick. I like it. Charles, the U.S. has always had a big mark on gospel music in South Africa. Okay, that's pretty cool. I never really know what translates. A couple of weeks back, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago now, I guess Emma Green was with us, and I asked my infamous Rick Springfield question. She had never heard of Rick Springfield. She had no idea who he was. No clue. He apparently had 0 hits in Great Britain when she was growing up. So she did not. She literally could not answer the question, and I thought that was fascinating. So yeah, Charles. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw my Greatest American Hero tribute last week or not, but I posted up just the title to the song, and everybody sings it because it's just such a great song. Um, but she had never heard that either, and I thought that was fascinating. All right, let's see. Keith Tenenbaum, he's here with us tonight, and he's also right here.
Hey, this is Keith Tenenbaum, session drummer, 50% of Animal Cloud, and all around nice guy. And I do a couple of weird things before I play a show. Not that weird, but one, I like to have my kick drum angled to the right. So if you picture your drum set as a double kick drum kit and you've got your bass drums like this, just take one away. And I like having my kick drum just like that and my hi-hat where the second kick drum would be. So I like having my kick drum off center, and I also always have to play barefoot. I can't stand playing in shoes. I always have to kick them off at the last minute. There's been a few shows where I forgot to take them off, and by the second song I was super depressed and couldn't wait for a break just so I can kick them off. So diagonal bass drum, barefoot. Peace.
Okay. I am kind of with you on the diagonal bass drum. You've played my drums before. Did you notice that that the kick drum is ever so slightly off to the right? Not like a double bass kit, but ever so slightly. So I get that one. Barefoot though, brother, man, doesn't that hurt? I can't stand to be barefoot. It drives me crazy, let alone playing. And then all I'm thinking about is all the gook on the floor, sticky spilled beer, and worse than that, Diet Coke that's all over your feet. Does that not just like gross you out? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yes, Kendall, that is correct. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Totally. Toby, yes, you're very welcome. Eccentricities. That's correct. That's what we're talking about here. Thanks for the pomade ad there, Justin. I appreciate that too. Excellent. Renee, yeah, don't reach in his bag. Don't walk across his drum mat. Yeah, but these are pet peeves, right? Oh my gosh, yeah, I know. It gets kind of nutty pretty quickly, to say the very least. It does. Um, it's really kind of fun for me to hear all these things because I haven't told you mine yet. So let me tell you mine. Um, oh wait, here's one from Justin. Okay, yeah, I'm too scared to play barefoot. The front of my sneakers boots is completely worn out. Yeah, you're worried about what would happen to the end of your toes. Yeah, I get that for sure, man. That would definitely. Yeah, I just can't do that. I don't even like to be barefoot like in my own home. I really don't. It's kind of a thing for me. I'm just not that guy on any level. Um, Apparently, it looks like Keith is requesting a naked picture of me. No, sorry, Keith, you'll have to come over and take one of your own. Um, so Kendall, diagonal single kick drum is you want that left kick to be there? Yeah, maybe, maybe. You know what though? I looked at it like this. I don't know about the other drummers, but when I sit down, my right foot is not here. They naturally have my feet have a little angle to them. I mean, everybody's do. That's just the human body. So I try to kind of match that so that I'm not angling in and sitting uncomfortably or with some weird twist or whatever. The Motion Pro drum throne that I'm using helps a lot with that twist. And if you haven't checked those guys out, you need to check out the Motion Pro drum throne thing. They're pretty cool. But my Motion Pro helps with that. And so I offset a little I don't offset this far, but kind of in between the two does help. It really does. Toby, you don't go barefoot either. Yeah, there's something about it, man. Yes, Dan, thank you so much for the antimicrobial sanitizer for Keith's feet, I'm assuming. Um, let's see. Keith, after a tour, I have my kick pedal logo burned into your foot. I bet you do, man, because you've toured all over the world. I can't even imagine that. Whew, holy cow. Oh, this is interesting, Chris. Chris is not a drummer. Chris Ware. I'm not a drummer, but for some reason, I just can't play with a tuner on the headstock of my guitar. I don't know why, but I always take it off when I'm done tuning. Man, that makes perfect sense to me. It's a visual tick, perhaps, or it just catches your attention enough to make you go, what, what? No, totally get that completely. Absolutely get it. Yeah, that's correct, Kendall, that the left foot is angled toward the heretofore imaginary left kick. But that's where my hi-hat stand goes. And I think that's probably where Keith's hi-hat stand goes as well. Keith says he has shoes next to the kit so you don't walk around barefoot. Yeah. You know, man, I actually used to play in socks when I was in college and whatnot. I played in socks most of the time, but I really don't like going barefoot at all. It is no bueno to me to be barefoot. Not my thing. Not my thing. Anybody else out there with idiosyncrasies and quirks about playing gigs? I'm really enjoying this quite a lot, and I'm curious as to what other ones you might have. Thanks, Chris, for putting that out there. Charles, do you have any? And I'm seeing quite a few people here with us tonight, so please hit me up. Tell me who you are, where you are. We always like to hear from everybody. Don't forget, if you'd like to get in touch with us about anything, feel free to hit us at groovedinerafterdark@gmail.com. You can send us an email anytime, and we'll certainly get back to you. If you haven't subscribed to the channels, please subscribe to the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, so that we can continue bringing the show to you. It's always fun. Let's see. Oh, Nate's chiming in again. Random addition. I can't do a 90-degree boom arm. It hurts my soul, brother. Okay, so yes. If you've got a 90-degree boom arm, what you actually need to do is take the boom off and make it a straight stand. You don't need a boom, right? You just put it on a straight. But beyond, oh wait, here we go. He's got an exception. If he's hanging a cymbal, okay, that is a fair assessment, a fair exception rather. I don't like when I'm looking from outside in to my kit to see a boom arm that is too far removed from the center of the stand. So in other words, how can I even do this? If this is the stand, I don't want the boom arm to be like way out here. I want it to be centered so that it'll be here. But if it's like this, then I just need to move the base of the cymbal stand. It doesn't work for me at all to have it way too far out. It really drives me crazy. Yeah, I like this idea. This is a really good idea. Groove Diner After Dark socks with grips on the bottom. We could do that. We should totally do that. My eccentricities. One, every gig I play, every session I do, new sticks, just like Renee. And like I said last week, if you touch the new sticks, you might as well take them with you because I'm not ever going to play with them. They are tainted. Now you can touch all the old sticks I have in the world, and that won't bother me. I can play with them again. But if it's a brand new pair in my bag or on my drums and you touch them, just take them with you. I don't want them. So that's the weird thing for me. Second, and this one's probably weirder, I have to have chapstick on when I'm playing. I don't know what that's about. I don't even know where it started. But I always have 2 or 3 chapstick tubes in my stick pack. And I will put it on before I play. I'll put it on while I'm playing. I'll put it on between songs. I don't know. It's weird. I know. But it's my thing. So there it is, What you got here, Reggie? After every song I play in my studio or live, I've turned my cymbals where the logos are facing where you can read them. See, you're just as weird as the rest of us. Totally get it. You want them to look a certain way when you walk in the room, right? Yeah, totally get it. What is this? Reggie, I play in socks at band practice at home, but you have to be in Converse only while playing live. Yeah, okay, I get that. Shoes definitely make a difference. It's really interesting to me to see guys playing in cowboy boots and really slick dress shoes. I don't know if I could do that. Maybe I should try that. It's interesting. Would you wear some grip socks like Justin says he would? I'd be curious. Okay, so here's one from Toby. What goes through a drummer's mind when he or she tosses the sticks into the crowd? That's a little different for me because at that point I have now used the sticks, so I'm happy to let them go. But that's just me, you know. Um, yeah, it's just it's kind of nutty. Let's see, we've got Herman Matthews. He sent us a video. What did you say, Herman?
Herman Matthews again. Idiosyncrasies. A mode of behavior or way of thought peculiar to an individual. I don't.
Definitions. I like this. I mean, having a definition from Herman is a good thing.
Herman Matthews again.
I backed it up. Sorry about that.
Idiosyncrasies. A mode
Worth hearing
of
again.
behavior or way of thought peculiar to an individual. I don't think I really have any of those. I mean, you know, a fresh pair of sticks every time I sit behind the kid. Not really. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I do like a good piece of wood in my hands.
That's so
But
loaded.
I can play 2 or 3 shows with the same pair of sticks. Cymbals being clean and people touching them. I play with dirty cymbals. I prefer the sound of a dirty cymbal.
I do too.
I play a wood tip, so the sound of wood against a dirty cymbal is the sound for me. Really, nothing strange, you know. And I guess this really goes under pet peeve again, but I want my drums to be leveled. In other words, the stage. I don't want. I mean, even the rug that I have. You know, I don't want a leg or 2 legs of my drum throne off of the rug. The same thing with cymbal stands, in which, by the way, I play with straight stands. I don't play booms. But once again, that's more of a preference or a pet peeve. Logos do have to be facing, but that's just a courtesy. I mean, you know, I'm obligated to do that.
Yes.
As far as drum logos are concerned, I do like my, you know, drum head logos to be facing, you know, at the top of the drum, facing me. Once again, that's not an idiosyncrasy. You know, I don't think I have that. When I think of some, I'll get back to you. Thanks.
You know, Herman, I love you. You know I do. But you said you don't have any idiosyncrasies and then listed like 97 of them. I'm just saying. That's all. No, it is. I liked especially the cymbal arms off or the cymbal stands off the rug. Yeah, that bothers me too. And I'm so tall. I'm taller than you are, as you know, and that I often have trouble with the drum throne being off the back of the rug. So yeah, I totally get that, and I don't dig the cymbal legs being off that at all. It's a challenge, man, for sure. Drum logos, I'm with you on the drum logos. I also keep them forward, but the drum head logos, like I said, not so much. Interesting points about the darker sounding. You didn't say darker sounding, but that's why I do it. I'm guessing you do too. But the cymbals being dirty and having that different sound, that wood on dirty cymbal, it's a certain richness, and I totally get that. I don't clean my cymbals much either. My old friend John Bay was my drum tech for a number of years, and he hated that I didn't clean my cymbals, but I liked how they sounded better that way. So yeah, I totally get it. Nate says he was cautioned by a touring production that injuring an audience member would suck for the tour's insurance. Absolutely. If I want to give sticks away at the end of the gig, I walk to the edge of the stage and underhand them to a specific person. Yeah, that's what I do too, is I underhand them to a specific person if I'm giving them away. I even have been known to come down and hand them off. And yes, you are absolutely a nerd. Just, finishing out what you said. That's all it is. Reggie, even if I was famous, I would never throw my sticks into a crowd ever again, especially if it's true about what happened to Zuckerman. And I probably misspelled his last name. You did not. I don't know the story about what happened to Todd. That's interesting. Yes, Toby. Everybody loves Herman. He's awesome. Charles, my drums are in no-go zone. Don't help breaking them down or carrying them. Maybe in my next life I'll take up something different to play, like triangle or harmonica. It's going to be like a piccolo for me. I'm going to call it, stick it in the pocket. I'm done. Thanks for the gig. I'm out. Yeah, I don't mind people carrying things, but only that. Don't put them in this. Pet peeve. Here we go. I don't like it when people put my drums into a drum case for me and then zip it up, because I have a particular way I like to zip things up. I don't like the zippers to be in one spot. I want them in the other spot, so they don't have any idea about that, obviously. So please, please pick it up, carry it. I'll show you where to take it. Oh, by the way, one of my favorite things, people do want to help carry, and they inevitably pick up the cymbal case because it looks smaller. What's the heaviest thing that drummers carry around other than hardware? Their cymbal cases. It's always funny. They'll reach down. Oh, no, that was so heavy. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see. Michael Reschke. Oh, this looks good. Two of his idiosyncrasies that I can't play with anything on my wrist like a watch or bracelet. It throws my balance off when I play. The second one would be that I have to check every wing nut on my kit before I play. I've had my cymbal arms and stands fall over on me. No fun there, huh? Yeah, okay, so I am a bracelet fiend. I love playing in bracelets. I like the way that feels. I never really wore a watch for a long time, and then the Apple thing came out, and I'm such an Apple geek that I went and got it, and now it's the first thing I put on in the morning and the last thing I take off at night. But I like the bracelet thing, and Herman is a bracelet guy. He's got a ton of them. So it's interesting. I don't like necklaces bouncing around, bong, 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 when I'm playing. That bothers me more than a bracelet does. That's interesting, isn't it? I find that fascinating. And look, checking every wing nut on your kit, man, that's just smart. That's really smart. And I'm going to give you a little tip that you probably already know. Take a moment, take your bass drum pedal, and check everything on it once in a while. If you don't check that, the next thing you know, you're going to pop a spring, or a wing nut's going to come loose, or a drum key bolt's going to come loose, and your footboard's going to hit the floor, and you're not going to be able to play just because of simple maintenance like you're doing. Maybe you already do it, but if you, Michael, don't do it, or if you do, other people that are watching, take a moment and do that. Chris Ware, I exclusively play 96 millimeter heavy guitar picks, and I'll play with my fingers before I use thinner picks than that. There you go. You've got your thing. It works for you. I think that's pretty freaking fantastic, man. I kind of love it. Well, awesome. So that kind of wraps it up for our friends that have submitted videos for us this week. This was so much fun. I've really enjoyed this. This has been a fun way to keep things rolling over the couple of weeks that I've been traveling. Thank you so much to everybody tuning in. We have a couple of announcements for tonight. First up, next week we will have a supersized episode. I will be back in LA. We'll be sending out the episode from my studio there in Encino. It will be our season ending. I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud. It's hard to believe, but we are at the 13th episode of our season. Next week is episode 13. It's our final episode of season 2. Unbelievably. We will be having my Friday fella drummer dudes. It is an absolutely, pardon me, I had to adjust. It is an absolutely fantastic conversation between among 6 friends. Herman Matthews, Keith Tenenbaum, Michael Odebashian. Sorry, I got distracted. Michael Odebashian, Kelly King is with us. I am there, of course, and Corey Manske. The 6 of us sitting around out by my pool, having a conversation, almost 2 hours of conversation that we have rolled into a 90-minute episode. You are not going to want to miss it. It is 6 very close friends having very real conversation about music, life, love, the pursuit of all things drum, but also life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. Quite literally, we talk a lot about how the pandemic changed us, how we found each other during the pandemic, and how we became so completely part of each other's lives during that time. So you're not going to want to miss that. If you enjoy seeing friends having real conversations, that's going to be an outstanding episode. And it's a great way to end the season. You guys have made this season so successful for us, and we are so excited. Season 3 is going to come much sooner than season 2 did. We're going to take the summer off essentially, but never fear. There might be a few little tricks up our sleeve this summer too. And one other thing about next week's episode, we mentioned to you a couple of weeks back that we would be doing a drawing for a giveaway of the autographed drumhead with every guest that has been on the show all season. Every single person has signed it. I signed it. Eli signed it. And we will be giving that away next week. And what we're going to do is we're going to put out a question. We're going to put it out on our social media over the next 24 hours. The question will be posted, and if you respond to it, you will immediately and automatically be entered into the giveaway. So all you've got to do when you see the question is respond to it. Got it? And we will put all of the names of the people who have responded to the question into a floor tom or something, and we'll draw it and we'll get it. Unfortunately, to our international audience, this is United States only. We just can't afford to ship it out of the U.S. at the moment, so my apologies on that. Next year we'll see if we can get it rolling so we can get an international giveaway. But for you that are here in the States, the drumhead's really cool because it's got some great signatures on it. Don't miss next week. That's going to be great. And please spread the word. You guys have shared this show so much this season. It's been fantastic for us. Spread the word about the season finale. And we're looking forward to having you all back here then. There is no correct answer, Terrence. Terrence has asked if the question it requires a correct answer. There's really no wrong answer. I should say it that way. Yeah, it is. In fact, Charles, it is a drummers roundtable, and I think Charles, you're really going to like it, man. Because I have to tell you, Charles sends me some really great notes. Makes me feel really good about what we're doing here. In fact, all of you do. This is a labor of love and intensity. So, thank you so much for everything. Let's see. Okay, thank you, Reggie, for sending me some pics of that. I'm just reading the comments. My apologies. It looks like Kendall just said, oh, Nate, you'll like this. Kendall says, I literally just got up and made a major cymbal arm placement change because of the 90-degree boom arm comments. Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. So, that's what we're talking about right there. This is Groove Diner, the community, looking out for you. Thanks for that, Nate. Thanks for that, Kendall. That's pretty awesome, man. Yes, Toby, it's going to be a pretty cool giveaway. And Reggie, thank you so much for the eye opener of this. Yeah, I know, right, Nate? That's freaking fantastic, man. Okay, so yeah, don't forget to reach out with questions, suggestions, thoughts, comments, etc. to groovedinerafterdark@gmail.com, and we will get back to you pretty quickly. Usually, I'm the one that answers. If it's not me, it'll be Dan or Eli. But if you've got questions or whatnot, don't hesitate to hit us up. And we'll see you again 1 week from tonight for our supersized season finale. I can't even believe that I am saying that right now. It doesn't even seem possible that we are at 13th episode. But here we are. So with that, I will see you next week.